Look who's back. It's me, Dan, from, the WTF, Where's the Focus podcast. Let's get this baby going, huh? What do you say?
Welcome to the Where's the Focus podcast. WTF is an entertaining yet...
I'm going to have to cut you off, Jen, because it's been a minute since, we've had the experience here at the Where's the Focus podcast. So we might have to jump just right into what we're talking about. I kind of miss the studio, miss that, here in Nashville, Tennessee, living the good life, as they say. It's a little chilly outside compared to old CA. But, there's certain things you miss, certain things you don't. It's not... Oh, really? Well, I have to laugh at me. It's not...
You serious?
Well, yeah, I'm serious. It's okay. It's sometimes you just got to get going. It's right. Just like Scooby-Doo. You got to get going. So let's get this party started if we can. Well, I don't know what that button was, but let's not do that again. So welcome back to the Where's the Focus podcast. My name is Dan Manginelli, and if you got the alert that the podcast is out, I apologize. Again, it's been a minute. So, I think that I write some stuff a lot. Been posting some stuff. Make sure you check me out on Instagram there. I think it's DJman3. And then you just look me up on Facebook, Twitter, whatever, all the other stuff that, happens. And as my life goes, certain things hit me unexpectedly. And a lot of times when it's at the gym, that place that you go, and, sometimes it makes you stop and go, okay, what's kind of really going on here? And I think by the end of this episode, you're going to kind of get a taste of what I'm trying to say. So let me set the scene. It was a week after Christmas, pretty recently, right? That time where the gym gets really busy. You can't park because all the New Year's resolutioners are out there, and everyone is so energetic, and it's the new year, it's the new me, and I'm going to do this. And I was watching some people line up at the treadmill, and you guys can see the scene. Earbuds in, sweat ready to go. But one thing kind of stood out more than anything else is there was probably about 4 or 5 people with those, and those vests, those running vests that you see. You even see some stuff on social media where it's some women with a vest on and they have that red light thing. I don't even know what that is, but they have these running vests. I guess it's the new thing to add weight on. And I've been going to the gym, as you guys probably talked, for a while. I wish I had to say I was fit to where I wanted to be, but I've been going for a while to try to stay in tune with my fitness. But something was watching about these weight vests and watching people carry them actually around. Like it was like a Christmas bag. They had to take it out, and, it clicked to me. These people voluntarily strapped extra weight onto themselves and then tried to run faster. And then I had a thought, as I tried the analogy of life. Don't we do the same thing in life? We strap on extra weight in ourselves. We accept weight of other people. They just kind of hand it to you. Here, take this weight, and I've got to take it. And we carry the burdens that weren't even meant for us. And then we wonder why we're tired, and we're moving slow, and we feel behind. Happens in business, happens in life. We take on these things that aren't even ours. And watching those weight vests, as I said, it hit me. Most aren't tired because of the race that they're running or what they're running. They're tired because they're carrying a bunch of extra weight that they agreed to carry. They put it on. Now, here's the thing. In life, that weight vest doesn't look like 20 pounds of, metal or whatever. I have no idea what's even in those things. That's strapped onto your chest. Is it metal? Is it rubber? I don't know. Whatever it is that's strapped on, we don't carry that extra weight on a vest. We carry our weight looks like other people's opinions, their expectations, their negativity, their doubt, their drama, their guilt, the pressure from everywhere and everything else. And some of those things get strapped on, and it's not really loudly. They sneak in quietly, comment by comment, expectation by expectation, until you're running with the weight of a small refrigerator on your chest. It feels like, because everybody's putting all this extra weight on you. And the problem is you can't run because you're trying to run with someone else's weight or their race. and they put it on your shoulders. And there's that great saying that life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And here's the biggest misconception. People think that the goal in life is to run fast, at a high pace, keep going, go as fast as you can. But life isn't a sprint. It's about who takes the lead. And it's not about who takes the lead in the first 10 seconds. It's a marathon. In a marathon, you don't win by speed. You win by what? By pacing yourself. Think of a marathon. One just bolts out running as fast as they can for 20 some odd miles that it takes in the marathon. You win by knowing how to carry only what is necessary. Think about it. When you're running a marathon, you don't put a whole bunch of extra weight on. You're trying to get as light as you can with the lightest shoes you can with no extra weight on you. You win by knowing when to run, when to jog, and when to take small steps to still progress. And some days those steps are the victory. Not big ones, not fast ones, but those small ones are the victory. And you know this, that people are always trying to add weight. And I've learned one thing, people always hand you their weight. Sometimes not intentionally. It could be unintentionally sometimes, but they don't want to carry it themselves. They want to tell you their problems. You take this burden with me. Because they never learned how to run without it. They've always had the burden. If I can put more on, I can't get to where I'm going, so why should you? You don't have to take it. That's the truth. You don't. Just because someone hands you a burden doesn't mean you're obligated to strap it on and try to figure it out and solve their problems. We lose so much energy and worry about trying to please people who are not even running in the same lane. Hell, they're not even in the same race we're in. But we take it. We lose momentum. Accepting criticism from people that aren't even in the race. And we slow down listening to voices that weren't even meant to guide us. So we get a little, I don't want to say biblical, but there's the faith factor that comes in here. You have to keep your eye pretty much on the destination of where you're going when you're running a race. If it's in business, what is your goal you have at the end of the year? If it's a day, what is the destination that's coming? That's where the faith comes in. When you know your destination, when you know why you're running, and when you stay focused on the finish line, that's what you should be focused on. The other weight just becomes a whole lot easier to drop. Faith gives you clarity. Faith gives you direction. Faith gives you the courage to say, I'm not carrying that because it doesn't belong to me. Faith gives you the strength to keep going on the days when the run becomes just a walk and you can't run anymore. And then that walk just becomes a small step. And that small step is all you have. God doesn't expect you to sprint every single day. He expects you to stay in the race and know the destination. And keep the distractions out. You can't keep your focus if you have so much distractions going on. When you're locked in, when your mind is on the finish line, when your heart is aligned with your purpose, the destination, the doubters, the slow downers, they can't keep up with you. The only catch is when you stop running the race and start paying attention to all their other stuff. You ever noticed runners only slow down when they turn their head? Same applies to life. Same applies to your business. Same applies to everything. So when you're turning to find something else, it's hard to get to go where you're going. Look forward and the noise fades. Look sideways and you lose momentum. So here's a question I get to leave with you today. Let's see what we're going to play for the outro. Do we have? No, I guess we can go to the outro. Yeah, maybe. All right. So here's today's takeaway. What race are you running? And what weight do you have that you allowed others to put on your shoulder? Because you have a choice. Right now, think about it. You have a choice. This is your choice. You can run lighter. You can run freer. You can run with intention. You could run the race that you're called to run. But you got to drop the weight. Protect your pace and focus on your faith. And keep your eyes locked on the destination, the goal, where you're meant to be. When you do that, the noise can't catch you. The doubters can't stop you. And that weight that once slowed you down, it loses all its power. So have some fun. Hey, welcome back. If you're watching, I appreciate you guys being here. Let's get this back up and rolling as best as I can. The move kind of got me. I think, as I said last time, I'll put my better half on here. We're supposed to have guests. I'll find some good guests. We'll go back to some of the other ones. Maybe Marshall will be back on. He's always fun to have some banter with. Hey, if today's message encouraged you, share it with someone who might be running with someone else's weight. They need to hear this. It's not about speed. It's about your purpose. Keep showing up, keep moving forward, and keep running your race. And as I always say, go out, have fun, and make some dreams come true. Thanks for tuning in. See you again soon.